This place first opened way back in 1957. We are inside legendary Lambeau Field here in Green Bay. Here's the former Utah Ute Matt Gay to get this one started. And off we go from Lambeau. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. First rep of the game for Josh Jacobs. And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
From the 33, here's second down and 7. They will run the draw with Jacobs. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
That's a good, nice, crisp run for a first down. I wonder if the defense might have been loosened up a little bit, maybe anticipating a pass instead of the run that they got.
Play fake. Here's Love. He'll get this into the hands of the rookie from Texas. And he's brought down. 17 yards on the play there as the Packers have the first down as well.
Oh, I like that play call there. After a run for good yardage, you get a defense thinking they'll go back to the well. So that's a great time to call play action and give your receivers a little extra edge. And they complete the pass there for another first down.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground, but I think the play gets made by the defensive front because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Short throw, he's got Kraft. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
What a drive this has been, just chewing up the yardage, and here's one of their best plays yet as they finally get down into the red zone and look to finish this off with 6.
Line of scrimmage, the 15. It's first and 10. Love from the gun. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. It'll go down as a gain of 6, and that'll bring up second down. Love. Over the middle, it's complete. And the Packers are going to have a first and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. And now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Here's where we need to see some tenacity from this defense because they've been pushed right down the field on this opening drive. They've got to find some way to push back, and that's a good first step.
Jacobs again. And I don't think he got in. He did not. They mark him short of the goal line. They're held again, and do we have a goal line stand brewing? It's 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, does the head coach think?
Touchdown, Packers! A 1-yard touchdown reception. And the Packers put the Knights' first points on the board as they take the early lead. That was a really good opening drive on a number of fronts. 10 plays, very methodical, set the tone.
So you know right now, if you're on the defensive side of the ball, you're on the sideline saying, okay, what do we have to dial up in order to get off the field a lot faster? Because both sides are out there for 10 plays, but one side comes off energized, and the other side comes off with some questions.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And a good effort on the return there. Gets him across the 30, up to the 33. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. First carry of the game for Brian Robinson. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
Brandon, to me, what's important right here on this drive is for them to get at least 2 first downs. They've got to give their defense a chance to settle down, catch their breath a little bit after they give up a touchdown on the opening drive.
From the 38 now, here's 2nd and 5. Here's Daniels. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down.
Well, that's absolutely going to fire this defense up. They made it their mission to deny that completion, and they came through with a nice hit and knocked it incomplete.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Working out of the gun, Daniels. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he's going to have a Commander's first down as he's able to get 8 yards there on 3rd and 5.
And already down 7-0 after the touchdown a minute ago, so a 3-and-out here would not be ideal for them. Nice job finding his receiver there, and they get the first down.
From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Open man is Noah Brown. And he's got this down to the 35. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Well, this is where reading defenses and practice time comes into play. You've got to know what you're running versus zone versus man and how to run the proper route. And they just executed that one pretty well.
They'll run for the first time with Austin Eckler. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. Excellent effort by Kingsley Enagbari. He found a way through and had a stop for a loss.
I really like what he did there because he took his practice work and converted it to game action because he used his hands, got off the block, worked laterally and stayed to the outside, and finished off the runner for a loss.
Straight ahead, it's Robinson. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. The free safety roaming all the way up to the line of scrimmage to make that stop.
How about his ability to trust his eyes and figure out it was not a pass play and go fast towards the line of scrimmage in order to make that tackle.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Flush to his right. And he'll protect himself at the end here as he winds up getting pretty decent yardage. Pretty solid gain of 7 yards that time as he scrambled, but now they face a 4th down.
Like any team playing, they're looking for touchdowns to try and help their cause. But in this case, he does get them a little closer at least if they think a field goal turns out to be the better call here.
Gay's kick is good. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So both teams come away with points on their opening drives. Now they still trail. They answered the touchdown with a field goal, but at least able to break that goose egg here early.
And that is what's important, right? Because they didn't let that initial touchdown go unanswered. Took the ball themselves, moved it downfield, and put it through the post for 3 points. Game on.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. And he'll be stopped up at the 25. The Packers offense here coming back out for their second drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now, but let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up. found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
Yeah, offenses always try to be smart about when they're trying to dial up a screen to the running back because they understand you can only go to the well so many times in a game without the defense starting to anticipate the call.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. Here's Love. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a 1st down.
He's a talented runner, and that means he's always looking for bigger and bigger gains when he takes off. Certainly found some bonus yards there beyond the 1st down marker, and this early drive will continue with that extra jolt from his legs.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To throw now, here's Love. A quick throw there is incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Here's 2nd and 10. This to Jacobs on the toss right. And that one goes for about 6 as he's taken down just shy of the 45.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
The Commanders bringing out the nickel package on 3rd down. Love looking to throw it. Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Packers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the 1st drive and comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
A really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. On play action. Love to throw. He'll swing that out wide to Jacobs. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the 1st down.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another 1st down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Here's Jacobs on 1st and 10. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. Well, they're making an effort to get the ground game going tonight. So far, it's working.
I like what we're seeing from the offensive line. They seem to have the leverage going, and they're controlling things and reestablishing the line of scrimmage, moving that defensive front backwards, but also like what the runner's giving us, too. It appears that he's been waiting all day long to get out here and take off.
Now Love. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Reed. That good for 6 as they keep this drive right on rolling.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. Oh, and fine work there as he gets this thing down to the 11-yard line. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Back for the 2nd quarter in Green Bay. It's the Packers in possession of the football. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11 as they've got it as we resume action. And that throw behind his man. He missed him. Incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. 2nd and 10. Love now. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Reed. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Throwing. Love. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, Packers. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half, as his guys are able to extend their lead. So they've had 2 drives, and he's had the 2 receiving touchdowns.
And how about a game plan where you decide to force feed or feature someone, and it works? First 2 drives, as you noted, end up in touchdown passes. I think they're going to keep going to them until the defense makes any kind of an adjustment.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Commanders going to retake the field for drive number 2. They trail now 14-3, an 11-point deficit as they start things out with a 1st and 10. They go play action. Daniels. He's going to drop this underneath for Robinson. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Daniels looking to throw. Slings this deep from McLaurin. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
One thing that offensive guys stress when they throw the deep ball, you're just counting on your receiver to find it, adjust before the defensive back can get his head around. In this case, though, the DB matched it move for move and knocked it away.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on 2nd down. To throw is Daniels. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Making that play on the pass rush, that's Devontae Wyatt. I don't care if you're taking it in round 1, you're undrafted, whatever. As a rookie quarterback in this league, you're going to have games where you face adversity like this.
Lessons. All the time you're going to face these lessons. The key for this guy is, will he be able to bounce back in the next one? Because right now, this has not been his game.
And it's fielded at the 34. It'll be a 44-yard punt, 6 on the return. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3. Because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, and right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
Those are the types of runs they told us they want to see more of. Look, they'd love the 60 to 70-yard runs, but those 10 to 20-yarders, they can help you win a ball game.
And that means everyone's invested because you know the big guys up front, that's what they do. They try and move people. But when you get your perimeter guys involved downfield, that means that they care about the running game and they know it helps their team.
And he's got this all the way down to the 5-yard line. So that time they get the tight end on the hold.
Normally he's a pretty good run blocker, but this time he just didn't get his arms extended and let go quickly enough. The flag came out as a result.
Once again, it's Jacobs. And he's got it across the midfield stripe and into Washington territory.
When you find that kind of yardage, you couldn't be more confident as a ball carrier. And guess what? You're going to go back and tell your offensive coordinator, I'd like to keep carrying it, thank you.
Now a 2nd and 10. To pass, here's Jordan Love. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I can assure you, setting up a screen is much more difficult than it appears. It requires excellent timing from everyone on the offense, and a defense's #1 goal is to throw that timing off.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, a perfect 4 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Out of the shotgun, it's Love. Forced out to his left. And a nice job there defensively. They get him to the ground short of the 1st, right around the 42. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
They made a nice effort to stick him with a loss for that play, but it's going to take more than that to keep him from advancing the ball. Should be an entertaining battle anytime he tucks and runs over the second half of this contest.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. The Commanders preparing for their next possession. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out. And his play caller does a nice job of giving him an easy throw to start this drive, and he takes advantage of it. The completion sets up a manageable 2nd down.
To the air goes Daniels. And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only the DB's going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. Throwing now is Daniels. He's got his target. That's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. Well, they were in search of a short gain on 3rd down, and they wind up nabbing over 20 yards.
Yeah, these are the types of plays they're going to need to hit on if they're going to get back into this game. It hasn't been the greatest of first halves, but this is a nice throw here on 3rd down, and they keep the drive going.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Over the middle, that's complete to McCaffrey. That's good. The completion there for 7 yards, and that will bring up 2nd down. Off the option, here's Robinson. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the 1st down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Robinson will try to pick it up. And he gets it to the 34. Good enough for the 1st. Give him 6 yards, and they do convert on 3rd.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Up the middle with Eckler. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there. 2nd down. Nice job there defensively to clamp down, because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And he still has yet to get on track in this 1st half, as they're going to stop him behind the line.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
Ninth play of the drive now on 3rd and a country mile. On the screen, this is Eckler. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. They'll get 11, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
And that's a play that's not uncommon on 3rd and long because the offense is just hoping that somehow they can get a guy in space and follow some blockers downfield. Does a pretty nice job there getting a few yards, but he ends up getting stopped before he can get the 1st down.
And Gay knocks this one through. And a second field goal here cuts their deficit to 14-6 now. So no problems at all on that one. And you know, there's virtually no wind. This is a kicker's dream here tonight.
It absolutely is, isn't it? So to me, with no wind, it should be a passer's dream as well, right? But in this case, the defense held out. They had to force the field goal.
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Obviously not the intended goal last drive. They had to punt the football, but still they've got the lead here and now a chance to add on to that lead if they can get points on this drive. 1st and 10 upcoming. Firing quickly out wide is Love. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down. Back to throw. Love. And a quick throw here, that's complete. 2 touchdowns for him already in this first half. This one good for a 1st down. Running straight ahead is Jacobs. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
From the 44-yard line, here's a 2nd down and 6. Play action this time with Love. Able to find his man, Kraft. That one a 1st down pickup of 8.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
Love fires that quickly outside. So the completion good for 7 there, and that's going to bring up 2nd down. That's complete to Dobbs. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
To the air again, Love. That's to Kraft, the tight end. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. So they'll get 8 out of that completion, and it'll be 2nd and a couple.
I know that halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. 2nd and a couple. Love. Wide open receiver complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 8th catch for him now. He's been a big factor. And it's a first down.
I can't help but chuckle a little bit because at this point, it can't be a surprise to anyone in the building who's going to get the ball. They just keep feeding him over and over, and he just keeps on delivering.
Again, he'll drop to throw. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
I'll give him credit there. Nice job on the drag route. Bring the receiver across the field, hoping he can catch it in stride and turn it up. He was able to do just that, although he's just a little bit short of the first down.
The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. Second down and a little more than a yard here. Back to throw again. That's to the pylon and incomplete. They tried the throw on second down, unsuccessful. Now it's 3rd and 1. Jacobs going to try the middle, and he'll take this one in for a Packer touchdown. Josh Jacobs punching it in from a yard away. And the Packers will extend their lead in the final minute of the half.
Ah, what a luxury it is to be able to call on a bowling ball like Josh Jacobs down near the goal line. 5'10", 220 pounds, and he's not afraid to get in there and get the tough yards. He finishes off this drive with a touchdown run.
McManus's point after is good, and the lead is up to 15 now. After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. Washington going to go on offense now late in this first half. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range. Here's Daniels. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. And Washington now going to use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock will stop with 37 seconds to play in this first half. So after the sack, here's 2nd and 14. Now Daniels. And complete to Zach Ertz. Now Washington going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. Now they need 2. Here's 3rd down. From the shotgun, it's Daniels. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And now Washington going to go ahead and use their final timeout as they'll stop it with 27 seconds remaining here in the second quarter. Working out of the gun, Daniels. It's complete to Brown, right side. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. The Washington passing game dialed in now. It's a first down. A final shot before break. Daniels down to the 10. And with a clock reading zeros, he is into the end zone. What an exclamation mark to the end of this second quarter.
Indeed. Indeed.
Extra point by Gay is up and good. And that'll cut the lead to 21-17. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Washington offense ready to go to begin the third quarter. This offense, Charles, had a strong first half throwing the football, at least in terms of yardage, but that hasn't translated so far on the scoreboard as they begin the third quarter here, trailing and looking for a little momentum.
Yeah, you're right about that because, let's face it, in the first half, most of their focus was in the passing game. And to their credit, resulted in a healthy amount of yardage. So I would think that at halftime, they're going to anticipate that defense loosening up a little bit to try and cover the passing lanes. They've got to get the running game going, and there should be some gaps to run through now. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here, and what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while, get at least 2 first downs, give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Play action, now it's Daniels. To the sideline, and wow, what a catch there. He doesn't get a lot, but he was able to get the feet down complete. Only able to gain a couple there, and now it's 3rd and 3.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. It's Kingsley Enagbari finding a way in to bring him down.
This rookie was already being tested as he tries to lead a comeback here in the second half. Now he's got to get some momentum back after that sack and a big loss.
Here's Tressway now as he'll punt it away for the second time. 46 on his first kick. This one in that neighborhood as well. It's a 40-yard punt, 4 yards on the return. And they will take over 1st and 10. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. And both of these defenses have been stifling these last few drives offensively. Just not able to get anything going. So what needs to change?
I think a lot of the guys will go back and review, so to speak, because everyone has someone assigned to how did each play work. Okay, what did we use that kind of worked for us during this game? Try and get back to some of those plays, as well as the possibility of showing something you haven't shown already in this game and trying to change things up.
We'll see if they take the advice of Mr. Davis.
I certainly like what he did right there because he smartly wanted to avoid forcing anything downfield because nothing appeared to be open. Nice harmless slide there to avoid the big hit, and he gets a small gain on the play.
Here's Jacobs from the gun. And strong running there as he's across midfield and down to the 49. 73 yards for him on the ground now. He has been a tough man to bring down all night. Good push up front and that run in between the tackles.
Let's play the leverage game here. Offensive line just got lower than the defensive front, and they were able to get their pads on them and move them backwards and create space for their running back to roam.
And this one is incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender, couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Here's a handoff to Jacobs. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
Well, this play sequence was really kind of called in reverse. Incomplete pass on 1st and 10. Nice run on 2nd and 10 when probably everyone was expecting them to throw the football. Now, if you're the defense, what are they going to do on 3rd down? You're a little off balance.
Pass taken in by his big tight end. And he is going to have a Packers first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6.
And that one was a lot of fun right there because that was the game within the game. 3rd and short, blitz was on. What's the key for the quarterback? Get out of your hands in a hurry. And that was a quick little completion. Got the job done for a first down.
They'll run right here with Jacobs. And he'll get it inside the 35.
Oh, that's a real nice job there by the defensive front. They just engaged and held their ground. But how about the guy who made the play? We often talk about whether they take a good first step or not. Many times you just don't take any step. Just get your feet moving, get your body going, and then once he made the read, he was able to make the play.
In motion, the tight end. Throwing. Love. Incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the 3rd quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Got to get to the 26 for a first. This is 3rd down. They'll bring a receiver in motion right. Here's Love. They swing that out wide to Jacobs. And they're going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at Washington's 20-yard line. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
Whenever we talk about moving the sticks and controlling the football, there's a great example right there. Those are the 3rd downs you need to convert to win football games. We're in the 3rd quarter of this one, and this is a tight one. In order to maintain pace, keep the ball away from the other team, and put points on the board, those are the plays they need to continue to convert.
And that's good for a gain of 6, and it'll be 2nd down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose, and boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
This 2nd and 4. Now Love. That's to the tight end, Musgrave. And the Packers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
They will throw again here with Jordan Love. And it's a Packers touchdown from 6 yards away. And the Packers have taken a 2-touchdown lead now. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
After the touchdown, here's McManus now to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And Charles, a very uninspired effort the last time we saw them out there was a quick 3-and-out, then they punted the football.
Yeah, and you never want to get stopped so soundly during a series, but what would be even worse now is letting it happen again right here. They've got to get going.
Here's Eckler to begin the drive. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
Ball on the 35. Here comes 2nd and 5. To the air goes Daniels. Slings this deep from McLaurin. And he's got it inside the 10. And he'll score. Touchdown, Commanders. Terry McLaurin with his 2nd touchdown of the night. And the Commanders get a bit closer. Well, partner, I mean, if anybody was still questioning whether or not he had an NFL caliber arm, I think you can toss that right out the window. That was a heck of a throw right there.
I would agree totally. Question it no more. This rookie, big-time throw right there. Great poise, stepped up, trusted he could lay it in there perfectly, and he knew that his guy was going to make the catch on the other end. Nice collaboration.
Following the touchdown, here's Gay to kick it away. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Pretty important third quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Love going to break the huddle, lead the Packers up here 1st and 10 right at the 30. They'll begin on the ground with Jacobs to about the 33-yard line.
End result of that one, a nice 4-yard gain, so you can use that to set up your play-action game, or you can come right back and continue to run the football because as an offensive play caller, you're on schedule and feeling pretty good about your next couple of calls.
2nd and 6. To pass, here's Jordan Love. And incomplete.
So many offenses want to include their running backs into their passing offense and be able to swing the ball out or check it down to them. But sometimes those guys are just not as comfortable catching the ball as they are running it.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Off the play fake, Love. He finds his man, complete. It's Jacobs. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. He did his best to just get 4 out of that, but not enough. And now 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. The Washington offense at the line and ready to roll. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways because you know they're both motivated. They both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Now an option play on 2nd down. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. They go backwards there 2 yards, and 2nd and 1 is now 3rd and 3.
I know they'd love to take some heat off of that young quarterback, but so far, not much in the running game, and this won't help things either. A loss on that play.
They'll come up now 3rd and 3. Robinson up the middle. And he will have a 1st down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's a pickup of 6.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. To throw is Daniels. Escaping the pressure right. He'll get 5 out of the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Oh, partner, just a second earlier, and they might have had him because they certainly thought they were going to close in and drop him behind the line of scrimmage, but he had just enough time to dodge the pressure, and he ends up getting yardage before being stopped.
Here's a 2nd and 5. Complete out to Samuel on the quick throw. They follow up the gain of 5 by only getting 1 there on 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
They go play action. Daniels. Pass to the sideline and pulled in. And he gets this to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
That's the third time on this drive that these two have connected with each other. They've got a real rapport going, and right now it's paying off with big chunks of yardage as shown by that last play.
On 1st and 10, it's Robinson. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 2nd down, another shot for Robinson. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. All right, so they got that one, Charles, against the center.
And let's remember how difficult it is for the center, because remember, he's got to snap the ball to put the play in motion, and sometimes you got that big guy on your nose. You got sometimes where he's coming at you at an angle. It's a difficult job for him to snap the ball and then execute his block.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Daniels looking to throw. And that's complete to McCaffrey. So the completion good for 6 yards. And that's going to bring up a 3rd down.
I think that was a pretty good read right there. They caught him in zone defense and went to the hitch. And because they're in zone, that creates a natural space between the defenders and the receiver, able to get it to him quickly and let him get upfield.
Throwing now is Daniels. And he's going to be stopped here for no gain. And that's going to take us to the end of the third quarter of play. So both teams trade touchdowns in the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Back now at Lambeau. It's the Commanders in possession of the football, but they trail as we start this 4th quarter. And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. This one will sail out of bounds. It'll depend on the spot here. And the side judge says that went out at the 7-yard line. And now the Packers get set to go. Their defense got the stop, forced the punt, and now you really start to monitor the clock as they nurse this slim lead. They go bootleg. Love. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And a productive gain out to the 14 after starting at the 7. It's a gain of 7. Here's 2nd and 3. Love now. And, oh, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Able to find the open man. That's complete. And he is going to have a Packers first down. They needed 3. He doubled that. He got 6. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Play action this time with Love. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
As a defensive back, you have some weapons at your disposal that we don't often talk about, and you can read the receiver's eyes, you can read his hands, and you know that the arrival of the ball is imminent, and that allows you to make a play on it and oftentimes knock it away.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. On the handoff, this is Jacobs. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
You know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. In motion goes the tight end. Love from the gun. And that is incomplete.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
On now is the Packers punter, as he's on here to punt it away. 22 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And the Commanders will take over with a 1st and 10. Offense to take over. Defense got the better of them last series, forcing a punt. See if they make a few changes in the game plan here and try to get points out of this drive. 1st and 10. They'll start with the option. And the ball is knocked out, and the Packers pick it up. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. They got the fumble recovery. Now here's Love to pass. And the Washington pressure gets to him. He will go down. It looks like a 12-yard loss there on the 1st down sack.
I wonder if they're wandering back to the huddle thinking to themselves, can we just hit rewind and go back a play? Definitely not the down they wanted to begin this drive by giving up a sack. But for the defense, that's exactly how they drew it up.
Running it with Jacobs. And he carries this one past the midfield stripe and into Commander territory. Give him 5 yards on the run there, but it'll leave him with a definite 3rd and long on the horizon. The recipe's pretty simple, I think, right? Just give your superstar the ball, continue to feed him.
Yeah, don't overthink this one, right? Make sure he's touching the football, but you're also counting on his intelligence in playing the game as well. If it's not there, don't force the run. Just make sure you hang on to the football and keep the clock ticking.
And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll get only a yard out of that, and it'll bring up 4th down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
On now is the Packers punter as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. This is taken at the 15. And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. 33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And it will be Washington football now with a 1st and 10. Now a handoff to start it out. Robinson. And he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Nice chunk of yards on 1st down. It really opens up your options for what you want to do on 2nd. You go right back to him and hope he explodes, or sucker the defense in before throwing over the top.
2nd down and 6 now. Now Daniels. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. They were looking to throw, holding on the big right tackle.
That's real simple, partner. Keep your hands inside in the chest area. You're probably okay. You get it out on the shoulders, get them wide. Usually going to pick up a holding call.
Now they face a 2nd and long following the holding penalty. Here's Daniels. And that's incomplete.
Well, partner, guaranteed they approach this play with the idea of making up ground to make 3rd down manageable. Unfortunately, with that incompletion, right back where they started on the last snap. Now they need a big 3rd down play in order to pick up the yardage needed.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, they've converted 6 times and could use a 7th here. This is 3rd and 16. Sets up the screen to Robinson. And he'll be stopped at the 27-yard line, well short of the 1st down marker. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
That's a nice design there, but sometimes, though, you get so many blockers out ahead of you, they kind of slow you down and force you to adjust. You always appreciate guys trying to help you, but maybe one less there could have turned this into a bigger game.
And on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. A 40-yard punt, no return. And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over. The Green Bay offense ready to take over. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That's Javon Kinlaw busting through, and he sticks him behind the line.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Dietrich Wise running through and dropping him for the sack. Now Charles dealing with a 3rd and long. They'll have to try to go back to the air again and this time avoid the sack.
Certainly hard to try to establish momentum when all you're doing is going backwards, not protecting the passer, and he gets dumped on his backside.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that nearly the pick that they needed. He couldn't pull it in, though, and it's 4th down. Critical play in this football game, because if they pick up the first there, that clock keeps rolling.
Has to be a little frustrating for them because they know that if they pick up a first down there and continue to eat away at the clock, really increases their chances of closing this one out. Now they're likely going to have to give the football up and sweat it out on the sideline.
And we'll see what he can do on the return. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Washington offense set to take over. See if they can put this drive in the end zone, Charles, because it's been a little bit of a rough go at times. They've had to punt the football a ton in this ball game because of stalled out drives.
So are you saying that you're kind of tired of seeing the punter run out there and do his thing during this game? Is that what you're trying to say?
Well, I mean, I'm okay with it. I have a feeling that this offense, they don't want to see the punter again.
And frankly, the punter doesn't want to run out there anymore himself. He would love to see his offense put together a drive and give his leg a rest.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Working out of the gun, Daniels. Over the middle, complete to Samuel. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a first down.
And that's a much-needed first down right there. Look, they're down by 8. So logic says they don't have to get a touchdown out of this drive. But the way things are going, I don't know if I'd put it in the hands of my defense here. You might not get the ball back at all. So if a 4th down situation comes up, I'm thinking hard about going for it right here and right now.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
And that's exactly what you want on a first down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
Here's 2nd and 5 now from the 37. Again, it's Robinson. And this time not quite to the 30. It'll be down at the 31-yard line. 43 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times.
But, partner, if the defense isn't going to adjust and they keep giving them those 5, 6, 7-yard runs over and over, they're likely to run it the whole way to the end zone. They'll be more than happy to take the yardage available and save some of their other plays in the playbook for another time.
They'll look to throw now on first down. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, I think we were both wondering if we were going to see them try and push it deep downfield, facing a one-possession deficit late, and they certainly didn't disappoint. They gave it an effort.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up 2nd and 10. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. That's going to be caught by Samuel. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Back to the ground with Robinson. And he will have the first before he's brought down right on the chalk of the 20. Give him the 3rd down conversion, 5 yards on the play.
On third down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Clock running, under 4 to play now as they come up on 1st and 10. In motion right, Debo. He's going to handle it on the touch pass. Down inside the 10. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington. Debo Samuel, a 20-yard touchdown. And the Commanders have a chance to tie things up as they trail by 2 here in the 4th. So part 1 of what they needed is done. They get in the end zone. Now you have to imagine we'll see a try for 2.
And that's what the book says, but defensively, they can't hang their head right here. They've still got a chance to come out with the lead if they make a play.
And he's got it. The conversion good, and we are tied in the 4th. Now this one setting up for a great finish. All tied in the 4th as the kick's away. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here. Well, they no longer have the lead after that last touchdown. All tied up in the 4th quarter. And a chance for this offense to mount a potential game-winning drive right here. Loving the Packers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 26. To throw now. Here's Love. And he's got his man in stride. Complete. It'll be a gain of 5. And it's 2nd down. Jacobs now. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
An important one here, no doubt. 3rd and 4. Throwing. Love. He finds his man. Complete. That's Jacobs. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
And when you have success throwing the football, the old cliche becomes true. The playbook opens up wide. And these screen passes, they become even more difficult to stop.
All 3 timeouts plus the 2-minute warning. Here's 1st and 10. Here's Jacobs. So not a lineman, but the tight end instead this time, drawing the holding call.
And more what you're getting with tight ends are guys who are much more receiver than blocker. They may be willing, but that might not be their thing. Oftentimes, they'll be the ones getting the penalties.
Here's 1st down. They will run out of the gun with Jacobs. And he'll pick up about 3 there, up to the 43. Working out of the gun. Love. Throw left side complete. That's Reed. Very sharp here to start this drive. 3 for 3.
Yeah, I like the way he's running this 2-minute drill. Very sharp, very precise in throwing the football.
Well, this defense needing a stop here. Got to have it. 3rd and 9. And they do get this across midfield to the 49, but a small consolation prize as he's well short of the 1st. On now is the Packers punter, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And no return here. Where will they spot it? They say just outside the 20-yard line.
And the Washington offense heading out. Well, partner, here it is. They've got the chance to win the game. You'd have to think they need to get it near the opposite 40 to have a chance to kick a game-winning field goal. We'll see what they can do.
And you're right about that, because if we look at it in macro, that's what it looks like. But I think in micro, the head coach has already asked the special teams coach, what is he feeling? What does he think? Where does he want the football? What's the yard line we have to get? And he's already relayed that to his quarterback and his offense. They know what the goal is. Now the key, can they get there? And this is obviously a spot where you lean on your stars. Get the ball to them in open space and let them do what they do.
Plenty of time and 2 timeouts still at their disposal. 1st and 10 here.
On the move to it, and he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game.
Kingsley Enagbari, his 2nd sack of the night.
And this dominant defensive performance continued on that play. This poor quarterback has not received the protection he needs and has had to pick himself up off the turf far too often.
Operating from the gun, Daniels.
And that's to the left sideline and incomplete.
Back-to-back big plays defensively. First the sack. Now they force the incompletion on 3rd and long. Things looking pretty good for them.
And this is where they have to be careful, because they've got the momentum going their way. They will be really amped up to get to the quarterback. Look out. Draw, screen, something that can be used against them.
On 3rd down, Robinson.
And some room to work.
And he will get out of bounds here as well. What a play. Big yardage. They stop the clock, and they move it to the boundary of field goal range as well.
Probably had 60,000 thinking pass right there, including us in the booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That was a big call, big guts on that one. And guess what? That run, it'll pay dividends.
Back to Robinson now on 1st down.
And he'll have a gain of 3 to the 33.
The Commanders going to use the 2nd of their timeouts,
as the clock will stop with an even 20 seconds left to go.
It went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Yeah, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Here's a 2nd and 7.
Now a handoff up the middle.
Felton.
Now here's a timeout, as they will indeed call it with 5 seconds to go and a chance with a field goal to win the game. So it all rests now on the right foot of the kicker, Matt Gay. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left. And now it all rests on the right foot of their kicker. 2 for 2 tonight. This will be for the win. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And it's celebration time on that sideline as they have taken the lead in the final seconds. And I tell you, when it comes to needing a field goal in closing seconds, pressure situation, there's something to be said for having a veteran kicker trot out there.
Agreed. It's so nice to have someone you can rely on, someone who you know has done it before. And this guy's as cool as they come, isn't he?
After the made field goal, Gay back out there to kick it off. And with time a factor here late, he'll just take a knee and they'll start things out at the 25. Green Bay's offense ready to go again.
And right now, these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with him punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
And it's incomplete. So their final drive comes up empty. And with that, the ball game is over.
And a fun, close ball game comes to an end. On that last play, Charles, they were on the wrong side of midfield. They needed something near a miracle, and they couldn't get it done.
Yeah, the effort, that was good. Very good, in fact. They were just a little too far out to get a decent look at the end zone for that last opportunity. Couldn't get it done, but a nice game overall.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. From Lambeau, good night, everybody.